Hello and welcome along to Mondo Chalavet Movies. My name is John and this is going to be my monthly haul for the month of July 2021. Now the reason why I'm sitting a little bit further along is because the bed is covered by Blu-rays and 4Ks. So this month I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm not going to show you like title by title what I picked up, what I usually do. I'm going to show you sort of like companies or shops that I've bought them from and break it up a little bit. So you can see all the 4Ks at once and you can see all the special editions at once. So first of all, we're going to take a trip to CEX. Now CEX has been quite good this month, and there's a few titles in here that I was really after for quite a long time, and I got them at a quite good price as well. But usually when you're in there, you do find things that you think, well, I'll give it a shot. I do like the actors in here, so you get these movies cheap and you think, well, it's worth it. It's worth a punt. So first off is Horrible Histories, the movie. Now, I have seen a little clip of this on the TV and I thought it looked okay, so I thought, why not? It's just a couple of quid. I do like the actors who are in here, so that's another one of the ones where you just think, well, it's a couple of pounds. You don't have to sort of, if it's rubbish, you've not lost anything. Next, in a similar vein, although a lot of people talking about this and saying it was a pretty good movie, and it does look good from the clips I've seen, is The Lone Ranger. Comes with a lovely slip as well. I didn't even know this was a Disney movie, which I was quite surprised with. Interested to check this out. And for about £1.50, well, who can grumble? Like I say, I didn't even know this had a slip. Next is The Hitman's Bodyguard. We got this because we were going to go to the cinema and watch The Hitman's Bodyguard 2. It would be our first trip back to the cinema for a long time. But we didn't get there because I think the FIFA Cup sort of stopped that from happening because we couldn't really get the cinema at the time because England was playing. Never mind. But good film. Highly recommended, actually, if you like that sort of thing. Next is a TV series that I've been after for a long time. I saw this on the TV and I thought it was absolutely brilliant. Although I didn't see series 2, which has got series 1 and 2. There's only been the 2 actually. And it is In the Flesh. Now this usually goes for ridiculous money. And for some reason, CX had it for £8. I do urge anybody who wants to see this or is a fan of a sort of zombie comedy TV series with a good plot to it. And this guy in here plays a great part of a bloke who is actually a zombie, and he's trying to come to terms with living as a zombie, as a lot of people in these towns are becoming sort of acceptant of people who are zombies. It's quite an odd little tale that's done in a great way, I find, and like I say, for £8 you kind grumble. So if you ever see it in CX, pounce on it like I did. Next is, when I see a Hammer title and I haven't I've got to get it, and it is Kiss of the Vampire. Been after this film for a long time. It's released on Final Cut. Now unfortunately Final Cut aren't the best at releasing Hammer films. That usually are a little bit not as great as Studio Canal, for instance, but it's not a bad version of this movie, and well, obviously it's the only one you can get by Final Cut, the only ones who released this, so in the UK. So yes, happy to get that one. Like I say, it's never cheap in HMV. The same being said for Phantom the Opera. The picture quality is not the best on here. It's alright, it's acceptable, but it's cheaper. It was only £12, so it was a lot cheaper than you do find usually when you see this one, especially recently, but I think it's a lot cheaper than it has been. So yes, another one to add to the Hammer collection. Next is the one that I never saw cheap anywhere, but I went to CEX in Edinburgh actually, and I saw this for £12. So it was a no-brainer to get this, Lady Frankenstein. Now the print on here is absolutely amazing actually, and I do think it says something about it's a really good remaster from a 2K restoration. So yeah, if you do see this, I think for that price, £12, it's really worth it. Although it usually is about £19–20 in HMV, which I think is a bit overpriced, but you do get a lot of special features on there. So highly recommended. I haven't watched it, but it's one of those films that I just love, that type of movie. This sort of Euro horror trash thing. And the last thing I got from CX this month was the Muppets 6-movie collection. Now I wouldn't say I'm a big fan of the Muppets, but I do think that they're pretty good. And the amount of cameos you get from stars in here is utterly crazy. I do think that you can't believe who's turning up in these movies, and they're worth watching just for that. But I think that these movies are funny, and I do think there was sort of just a bit of a good laugh. And I do like the characters in here. I watched the Muppets when I was a kid, so why not? Next up is One Below, which is basically everything in there is £1, even the Blu-rays and the DVDs as well. And you do get some decent films, or films you can try out and think, are they any good? A bit like CEX. So the first one I got was The Veteran. Now this stars Toby Kebbell. Now he is absolutely amazing in the film Dead Man's Shoes. I don't know if anyone's seen that. If you haven't seen it, you've got to rectify that, because that's an utterly amazing film. And he plays a great part in it. He's so believable in the part that he played in Dead Man's Shoes. I actually thought that this guy was kind of like that in real life. That's how good he was, but he wasn't. He's actually becoming sort of a big sort of Hollywood. He's in Hollywood actually, so it's great that he's done that. Well, he's a UK sort of actor. So yes, The Veteran. I don't know anything about it. It could be okay. Next was another one for another £1, is Bad Neighbours. I got this because I keep seeing this and think, well, is it all right? I'm not a great fan of Seth Rogen, although Rose Byrne, she is, I do like her in films I've seen her in. She was in The Bridesmaids. So Zac Efron, usually in his movies when he plays in a comedy film, he's quite good actually. He's quite amusing. So next up is some Blu-rays. The first one from HMV is The Never Ending Story. I've just recently picked this up and I'm really interested to watch it. I'm hearing a lot of things about a 4K coming out. I'm interested to see what I think of this movie and to see what I think of the other 4K, which I think is a German cut, so it's a bit different to this. I'm a big fan of the theme tune for this movie. I shouldn't be, because it's not really my type of music, but for some reason I've always liked it, if I'm honest. The picture quality in here is really good as well. Next is Death Race 2050. This is the sequel to Death Race 2000, and it's not a great film. If you see it, get it cheap. It's got a nice slip on here, but for some reason I like it. I like these Death Race movies. I don't know why. I've just got a bit of a soft spot for them. Please let them release Death Race 2000 properly, instead of you having to pay £150 for this Blu-ray that's out there. Next up is Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Now I was starting to watch this, but I haven't finished it, and I tell you what, the amount of stars who are in this movie who are just up and coming is unreal. The casting here is brilliant, and also the movie is quite good as well. I'm having a good time with it, although I had to break off for a couple of things, getting to work and all that, but I will be going back to finish this off. But yes, highly recommended that, although it is out in Criterion. I'm actually tempted to get the Criterion because this one is such a good movie. That was in the Arrow sale actually, and another one in the Arrow sale was A Trip to the Moon. This is a movie from 1902, and it has two versions of the movie. It has the black and white one. It also has the colorized version, and actually the colorized version looks quite good. And the colorized version was done way back when as well. It's not as if it's a new one. It was done I'm going to say about 1930, so it's quite a strange, it's got its limitations, but wow, it's and I'm interested in getting into the special features. The last one I got from the Hour sale is Cradle of Fear. This is an anthology movie from about 1989 or 1990, and it's really over the top and really gory. The picture quality in here is actually a lot better than what I thought. I think it's filmed on a sort of camcorder, so it's very low budget, but it's pretty sharp on Blu-ray, and I thought there wouldn't be much uptick from the actual DVD which I used to have. But this is a big uptick actually. So if you're thinking about Cradle of Fear on DVD, we'll keep it on DVD because the Blu-ray wouldn't add anything to it. Well, think again, the Blu-ray on here is absolutely a big, massive jump up. Although it is have its limitations because it is filmed on sort of low budget camcorder. But I'm not taking anything away from it. And some of the effects in here are really good as well, and it's quite explicit in scenes. But yeah, good film. So next up is Dream Demon. This is from Arrow, and it's a director's cut. It's got a lovely slip covering as well. I remember seeing this back in the day. I wasn't too impressed with it. In my mind, it was a British film. I don't know if I was expecting to be a British film. It's got Jimmy Nealon and Timothy Spall from Off Wheels and Pet as well. So for me, I'm going to give it a look at, because it was cheap as well, and it's got a nice slip on it. So why not? If it's not any good, I'll just have to let it go. But yeah, so that's that one. Next, I picked up a Hammer classic, To the Devil a Daughter. Now this is by Studio Canal, and I do think that the Studio Canal versions of the Hammer stuff are usually a step above the Final Cut ones, and this is no exception. Pin sharp quality. You do get some behind this, you get some sort of featurettes on here, and also this is the last sort of, I would call it the last ever Hammer horror film. in the 70s. So yes, so like I say, when I say a Hammer one for an acceptable price, I get it. Next is the Hindenburg. Now I didn't show this when I originally showed this movie off. That it does come with a poster actually. Yeah, so that's not bad. It would be something I would actually frame. I love Japanese writing. And so yeah, the Hindenburg from 1976. I've checked this out. I had to get it on Steelbook because in the UK it's only released in Steelbook form. And I've got to say the picture quality on here is absolutely stunning. It's one of them ones where I saw it on the TV and it had a good print on it, and I thought if this ever comes out in Blu-ray I'm going to get it in the UK, and it did. So I've got it here, and I tell you what, I'm really interested to watch this. It's one of those movies that is kind of it's taken the Hindenburg. I mean, really we only know the footage that we've seen of the Hindenburg crashing in real life, and all them people sort of escaping from it and running away from the burning wreck. I think it sort of blew up in about 10 seconds or something. It was a really remarkable thing to see. But obviously they put a movie behind this, and the movie actually makes quite good sense. And to me, it's one of the best, when they've got like a little bit of footage and they've got to like do a backstory to it. It's one of the most interesting ones I find of that particular genre. Next up is Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence from Arrow Academy. Now, I've been after this for quite a while after sort of getting rid of my my Criterion version, which I just can't believe I did, but never mind. And I've got to say the quality on this is absolutely sensational as well. So they've done a really good job, and so happy to get this in the sale as well. Next up is A White Fire. This has got a lovely slip, and once I found out that it's starred Robert Ginty, I thought, right, it's going to be a sort of exploitational masterpiece, and also Fred Williamson. So those people, when you get them in a movie, it's going to be exploitational fun, and very, very happy to get this with a slipcover. And like I say, I saw this a load of time, but I just didn't know what it was at all, so I just passed it up. But so glad to get this for $7.99. And next up is a one that I actually got from CEX, but I put it in this pile, and it is Schlock. This is by Arrow, and it's John Landis's first ever film from about 1973. And it does say it's got a 4K presentation, and to be honest, the picture quality, although you can tell it's a low budget movie, it is pin sharp. I haven't watched it yet, but I do want to see this because I've got a feeling it's going to be one of those movies that you've got to see to be believed, because I think John Landis's movies in general are a little bit madcap, especially his early ones as well. Now the next shop is FOP. Now I went up there, me and my wife went up there to celebrate our wedding anniversary for 30 years, can you believe it? And we picked, of course I went to FOP and I picked up a load of stuff, and I was very pleased to get this. I could have spent a lot more, but I had to restrain myself because I would have just went crazy and bought some stuff that I don't think I could have got an HMV anyway. So the first one I picked up is the Network's The Thief of Baghdad. I've got this predominantly because I wanted to see a movie with Conrad Veidt in it, and I'm starting to get some of his movies, and I want to get one where he's like talking in it because I haven't seen him talk actually yet. So this is it's got a good print on this as well, and I do like Network's choices of movies. I think they release some good stuff. As this next one, Wilt. I remember seeing this on VHS, and I've actually watched this on the Blu-ray, and the Blu-ray is actually quite good as well. I was expecting it to be a bit not that good, but it's got to say the quality in it is like much better than I thought it was going to be. Next up is The House in Nightmare Park, starring Frankie Howerd. So for me, I just love Frankie Howerd. I think he's so funny, and I didn't even know this had been released. So when I saw it, I thought, yep, I think I'll have one of them. I mean, these were all about £6 or £7, so it was great to get these at a low price as well. And also the cheapest one I got at FOP in the Network sale was The Ghoul. Now, I'm led to believe that this is the first ever talkie horror film. Now, the print on here is absolutely really nice as well, so that's another one. I mean, all of these I'm very interested to watch, and I'm starting to get through them, but it's going to take us a long time to watch some of these films that I'm getting. In fact, I'm getting that many that it's becoming harder and harder to watch stuff. But anyway, you got some money and you spend it, don't you? That's what we collectors do. So very happy to get that, and it's a good special edition as well. Next up is To Kill with Intrigue. This is one of the very early Jackie Chan ones that was released by 88 Films. Now this comes with a slipcover, which is, you don't get these slipcovers very much now these days. And as soon as I say slipcover is only £10, so I thought, got to get that. I want to hopefully get all these Jackie Chan films from 88 Films with the slipcover on, because it just looks so nice. I think the artwork in here is absolutely amazing. Next from FOP I got Zombie for Sale. This is a Korean movie, and when I put it on, it's got an absolutely gorgeous print. It looks a bit like 4K. So it's another one that's it's a new film, I think about 2019, and I thought as soon as I saw it, especially with the slipcover, I thought yes, I've got to have that. And lastly from FOP I got Beyond Reanimator. Now I didn't realise this slipcover in here is absolutely incredible, but I didn't realise that the slip is actually glow in the dark, because I thought it did feel a bit rough there, and I thought, well, what's all that about? But when I turned the light off the other day, I have got another movie that's glow in the dark. It is the Grindhouse releasing of Cat in the Brain. So you always see that when you turn the light off in the bedroom, that you can see it for a little bit. And this one was sticking out as well, and I thought, what's that? So there you go. So if you ever want to get this as well, it is glow in the dark. So it's a winner. And I don't know about the quality of the film, but the actual print on it looks absolutely stunning. So HMV have had a sale on their premium collection as well, so I had to get myself some titles. 2 for £15. It's a no-brainer. So what I did was, funny enough, I'm starting to get into Humphrey Bogart now, because I got a subscriber mail off Lauren from Lauren's Collection, link down below. Go and check her stuff out. Got an absolutely amazing channel, and she sent me very generously sent me a criterion of the Humphrey Bogart film In a Lonely Place, and it was absolutely brilliant. Me and my wife enjoyed it, so I thought let's get a few more of his movies. So I went to the premium collection. I picked up spine number 47, which is the Maltese Falcon, and it's from 1941. So all these look pretty good actually, so can't wait to get into these ones. And next I picked up spine number 48 from 1942, which is Casablanca, probably his best known movie, and there's a 4K scan in this, and I tell you what, the picture quality here looks absolutely sensational. And it's also got Conrad Veidt in it as well, so I'm interested to see what he brings to that movie. Next is from 1948, spine number 62, is The Treasure of the Sierra Madre. And this is another one I remember from the telly. I used to watch this all the time with my parents and that. And I thought, yep, I've got to get this one. I knew as soon as I was looking for Humphrey Bogart films, I thought, I didn't know this one was in it, but I thought as soon as I saw it, I thought, yes, that's one of the ones I was after. The next one is spine number 85 from 1948, and it is Key Largo. This stars Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall, who is his wife. And yeah, so that's another one. I've heard good things about all these movies. Actually want to put them on my pickup videos. So yes, I'm really interested in watching these Humphrey Bogart films as well, and probably to get a few more as well. But these are the ones that I've seen in the HMV Premium Collection sale. Is there any more? Please let me know down below if there is. Next up is my 4K titles. Now most of these I've got in sales. In fact, most of these titles here, bar a few, I've tried to get in sales or special offers. That's why I think I picked up that many this month, because I've seen some great bargains. So first of all, on 4K I got Apollo 11. This is absolutely amazing. The picture quality on the stuff that I think they had about 25 minutes that they found of behind the scenes documentary stuff. So what they've done, they've cleaned that up. It's in 4K. It's actually in 35mm, the stuff they found. So, and then they put other stuff in it. So the picture quality does dip sometimes, but the actual whole story about this moon landing is just unbelievable. So more about that and what movies I've watched. Next up is Blade. I got this because it was £9.99 with a purchase. So yes, and when I saw it, I thought nice slip, and also got it home, checked it, as I've heard a lot of people saying it's got a lovely print on this. So yeah, that was another no-brainer. Actually, a lot of these ones, when you walk past me, I thought, yep, I'll have that one. Next up is Pacific Rim. Now this is one I've been after for a long time, and I remember seeing my good friend Keith from Euphoria Pictures. He mentioned this one, so I thought, right, that's on my list. And when I saw it, I needed 2 for 30. I thought, I'm going to get this. This could easily be in my top 10. I have to watch the film first, but my 4K top 10 movies might change, and this one might go into it, because it is absolutely stunning. So on that strength of that, even the clips I've seen, I thought this is probably definitely going to be my top 10. Next up is Scott Pilgrim Saves the World, and to be honest, I wasn't that impressed with the 4K on it. I need to go back, I need to give it a good watch in darkness. This is how I like sort of grade my 4Ks. Put the lights off, stick a 4K on, and just be wowed by it. But I did find that I didn't see much of an upgrade in the Blu-ray on first glance, but I'm going to go back on this and give it a good check out, because I think I'm not too sure if I was seeing it in the right light. You know, sometimes you see some movies in the light and don't look that good. So yes, but happy to get this, but was it a good upgrade? I'm not too sure yet. And lastly, on 4K is War of the Worlds. I've had a bit check of this out, and it absolutely looks really good as well. Keith from Euphoria Pictures did recommend this one as well, so that's a good thing when you get recommended things by people. You do put them in your mind, and you think, well, if I'm out and I need something to go with another title, I've got a list of things in my mind that I know that people who I trust with their judgments have told me that's a good movie to get. So I did want to see this anyway, and I did know it was a good picture, so that's hence 4K. Next up is box sets. Now this has just been released by Arrow, and it is The Bird with the Crystal Plumage. This is the 4K one. This is the limited edition one that's come out. Now, I'm going to do a full review of this, so I'm not really talking about this too much. I'm quite interested to tell you about what things I've found to do with this movie in this presentation. But it is a lovely presentation, hard box, as Arrow always does. It looks lovely on the shelf. But like I say, I'm going to do a full review of this one, and I'm going to tell you more about it. But I'm happy to have this in my collection. Next is the one that was staring at me on the shelves for a long time, and it is The Strangers. This is by Second Sight. Now this is their sort of special edition version of this, limited edition, and haven't seen it. I don't know anything about it. It was a home invasion movie. I think some people say it's a bit like a Marmite movie. Some people say it's absolutely brilliant. Some people say they didn't like it at all. So interested to check this one out. I've got to admit, it was the packaging that got me on this movie. It looks that nice that I just kept picking it up on the shelf, and I thought that's maybe me just saying I've got to get this for some reason. So yes, interested to see this, to see which side of the fence I'm going to sit on. So the last thing I got this month, just the other day, was the special edition of the Daimogen trilogy. Now this is an absolutely amazing, incredible box set from Arrow, as they always do. This one's quite heavy actually. And this trilogy here is a movie, the trilogy I know nothing about, although I've heard a few people say that it's a really, really good trilogy. And also I've checked it out as well. The picture quality on the first movie, which I've checked out, is absolutely unbelievable. So this is highly recommended, and it's one of those ones where I was quite surprised to see it in HMV, because usually you don't get a chance to get these movies in HMV. They're usually long gone, and then the scalpers get a hold of them, and then that's the end of that. So yeah, so that's the last thing I picked up this month. I've got a load of pre-orders coming. I don't know if they'll come next month, but yeah, I think pre-orders are sort of taking up a lot of my my spending at the moment. Okay, so if you got the end, well done. I've got to admit that I knew this was going to be a long one. It's 36 minutes on the clock here. I hope it's not that long when I cut it all up and edit it. So thanks once again for watching. You take care, and I will see you on the next video. Cheers.